Hi guys. Welcome back to RTs Share Tea, where respiratory therapists live out loud with me, your host, Linda Fry, the Asthma Lady. Yes, welcome back everybody. Welcome to anybody new to RTs Share Tea Podcast. We are here today to talk about the NBRC taking over the Asthma Education Certification Board, the NAECB, and what that means for us as respiratory therapists and or national certified asthma educators, right guys? But before we speak about that, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our podcast. We are on Google Podcasts every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, and we are on YouTube every Thursday. All right, and I will be at AARC Congress this November on the 11th in New Orleans. So guys, if you're coming through, pull up, let me know if you're gonna be there. It'd be nice to see everyone in person. Also, if anyone is looking for CEUs for COPD or asthma related content, know that QHC Seminars is hosting a webinar on November 4th where we'll be offering 8 AARC approved credits. All right guys, it's a good price and good speakers, because I will be there. All right, just a little plug between you and me. Okay, boom. All right, so let's talk about this. So as the asthma lady, right, I am a certified asthma educator on top of a registered respiratory therapist. So I got certified back in 2010. So if you don't know my story, one night in the ER, I got a 5-year-old boy that went into cardiac arrest 3 times due to status asthmaticus. So the story was that his grandmother was in the kitchen cooking and he was in the living room playing, and grandma did not notice that he was having a full-blown asthma attack. He turned completely blue. She tried to give him the pump. It did not work, right? By the time I got him, he was in bad shape. And when I put him on the vent, I caught eye contact with grandma and I felt her heart break in half. And I knew that night he was not going to make it throughout the shift, and he didn't. All right, guys. So it was the first shift that I cried after work, and strangely, it was not for the boy. It was for the grandmother, because I knew for the rest of her life, she would have to live with the fact that her grandson died in her care. And I said to myself, I never want this to happen again, ever, to anybody else. So I went to go get certified as an asthma educator, and I've been doing this ever since. So now that the NBRC, the National Board for Respiratory Care, has taken over the NAECB, the National Asthma Educator Certification Board, what does this mean exactly? Okay, so when I got the certification back in 2010, you were good for like 7 years at that time. So it was like 7 years. So when 7 years came up, you had to either take the exam again to renew the certification, or you was able to give 35 credits, and those credits had to be specific to asthma. So you could not use, the respiratory credits. You couldn't use anything like vent related credits or anything related to that. It had to be specific to asthma. So it was kind of like weird, because you had to look for credits or seminars or whatever that only geared towards asthma, which may or may not have been AARC approved, because they just didn't, go hand in hand. And so when you went to, back in the day, when you went to the NBRC to see your credits, your credentials, the AAC was not there. So it just didn't count, and it just did not make sense. So September 1st, the NRBC, oh my God, I'm getting confused. The NBRC announced that they are taking over the Asthma Education Certification Board. So, which made so much sense because respiratory therapists make a large portion of who is accredited with that, right? So it was between nursing and respiratory. And I believe respiratory has more, but don't hold me to that. So now, this is great news. So for those of you that are interested to be an asthma educator, get certified. This is a good time to do it because now the credits will count. So now it will count for the credits that you need to renew the respiratory license. So it's a win-win. You know what I'm saying? So now we killing two birds with one stone, or whatever the phrase is, and this is great. So now you don't have to look all over the place to get all of these credit units. And yes, so with that, so my only concern is, what does this mean for other healthcare professionals? And what I mean by that is like your public health educators, your community health educators, your community health workers, so who are not licensed. They were also able to become certified asthma educators. So I don't know if anyone has the answer for that, but that's my only concern. I hope they don't squeeze these people out because they are such an asset to asthma education and to community awareness and just spreading asthma education and asthma awareness. So hopefully, originally, even if you were not a nurse, a PA, a respiratory therapist, or pharmacist, even if you were not these things, you were still able to apply for the exam if you had 1,000 hours of documented of you doing asthma education. So primarily in a hospital or in a doctor's practice or anything like that. You were able to get a letter and send it to the NBR to send it to the National Asthma Education Certification Board and be able to qualify for the exam. So hopefully this does not shift that. So we'll find out. And the minute I find out, I will let you guys in on that. So those of you guys who follow me, who are community health workers, who are public health educators, let me know if you're concerned about that or not, or if this is an area of interest to you. I have trained community health workers in the past and public health educators in relations to asthma education. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. So once again, for those of you who are interested in becoming certified in asthma education, asthma is not going anywhere, unfortunately, and we added COVID on top of asthma. So we do not know what these lungs, and airways are gonna look like. So there are so many new dynamics going on with lung diseases right now. So all right guys, well, that's it for today. I hope you guys learned something new today. Hopefully I'll see you guys in New Orleans in November, and so please remember to like, share, and subscribe to us once again, and that we are on Google Podcasts every Wednesday and on YouTube every Thursday. All right guys, remember to invest in yourself and to only compete with yesterday's version of you. All right, guys. Bye.